Back to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10 touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Yes! Score! Go to the deflection. The Andover Huskies win their first state championship.
Fieldhouse, where tonight QCTV and QCTV.org are pleased to bring you Northwest Suburban Conference volleyball action. And I know you're excited. It's going to be an excited gym tonight. These are two very, very good teams, and we can't wait to see how we do this October evening. And it is cold out. Hello, everybody. I'm Tim Anderson, and I'm joined alongside Mr. Joe Rulin. Joe, this Champlin Park team, it's just, hit the old return key, hit the space bar, whatever it is, because it feels like the same thing again. They're really, really strong, ranked as one of the best teams in the state of Minnesota.
And some depth as well. There you get a look at the starting lineup. Reese Axons along with Sarah Moberg. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the position change for her. Lily Reese along with Carly Gilk. Gilk, one of the best players in the state and the leaders in many categories for the Rebels. And then Marley Hansen followed by Caitlin Erickson. All of them contribute, and they talk so well and communicate as a team. And there you get a look at the head coach, and John has been there, I forget how many years. I told him I love that hat. Every season
every year you got to get a new hat on. You just got to upgrade the hat. You got to like the look you can do. It's his own signature.
Coach John Yunker, and it is. I told him we need to help him market that hat.
No question about it. Chris Fenwick on the other side, longtime coach for the Anoka Tornadoes, a much different team. They're younger, but I would argue they're a year ahead of schedule. They're at 13-8, playing very, very well this year.
It seems, and as you mentioned, Reeder, the freshman, just getting involved and really elevating the play of her teammates, and some great contributions and talent on that front line. Yeah, just a matter of building some confidence and mojo.
And we talk a little bit about confidence. This is the one thing that I think this Anoka Tornado team needs, is a test against one of these really strong teams to see where they stand, right? I mean, they've played well against the teams that I think they could beat or supposed to beat. But now you take up in a big competition matchup like tonight, you're going to have confidence that you can hang. It'll be interesting to see if they do that tonight.
Both teams bring win streaks into this match. Again, Anoka comes in with a mark of 11-8. But they have won their last 3 matches. Meanwhile, for Champlin Park, they come in with a mark of 17-4, and currently the number 1 seeded team, or number 1 ranked team in Class 4A, and they put together a 4-match win streak. Their last loss came to Marshall, and you may think Marshall, Minnesota, a smaller town. They're the number 1 team in Class 3A, and I'll share some more insight about that team and the talent involved at that 3A Division 1 or number 1 seed team in Marshall.
We may end up moving up one more level here, Joe, based on the fact that we are in the student section for Anoka tonight, and they like to stand as long as humanly possible. So we are right there with them tonight, and we're going to take in the vibe with them. We'll see how it goes.
Let's do it.
We are ready to play some volleyball here at Anoka tonight. Let's get it going. Carmen Shimmick will start off on serve for the Anoka Tornadoes and bring it in. And that's going to be a good start. A quick ace from Carmen Shimmick.
Yep, not able to be handled by Caitlin Erickson, who one of the team's leaders in digs for the Rebels. Good serve, good start.
Erickson, one of the top in digs. Shimmick will serve at 1-0. Good deep serve to the libero on the back line. Chance there to put it away. Dug up there, chance for point for the Tornadoes, but nobody's talking. And it bounces in front of Allie Tanner and a side out on the unforced error.
Well, and that's one of the things that, hey, you see the good teams get in. You saw it with Izzy Ashburn, the team that won the state championship for Champlin Park. That whole team, so cohesive, a lot of communication.
And that's still one of the things about this young squad. They set for Brent on the far side. Brent can't quite clear it out. Champlin keeps it alive, looking for an opportunity. Dug again. They set for Tanner again. Far side, put it in.
Beautiful location. I mean, far side corner, and he dropped it a good, say, 1.5 feet before that back line. Good location.
It's a good way to kill off a quick service game for Champlin Park. 2-1 Anoka, and Tanner now will take over on serve. Serving right at the back line of Champlin Park. Once again, communicating, Joe. They bump it over. Looking maybe to set Reeder, far side. That's dug up, nicely done, met at the net that time, and they go and set for Carly Gilk. And Gilk's gonna, nope, just out, wow.
Job, good lead, getting out early, such a key when they're going against the Rebels. In case they get on those runs, saw them earlier this year on the QCTV game with Jim Erickson and watched him play Centennial, who has a freshman at 6'3", who is just outstanding.
Goodness gracious. Something to think about there, Joe. 6'3", you can dream about it like me.
I like to get halfway there.
Yeah, that's going to be put down. There's the lefty, and you talked about how they have a couple of lefties up front, and there's one right there. That's Catherine Adler, who's able to put that away for the Rebels, and it's 3-2 Anoka, and on serve go the Champlin Park Rebels. It's going to be the libero, Caitlin Erickson.
It is a lot of lefties, a lot of activity, a lot of different rotation. Takes a couple of set or so to get used, and there's a deep kill attempt there for Anoka.
Well, Logan Brent swinging for the downs right there and ends up going wide and long with it, and it's 3-3. So stay on serve for Erickson for Champlin Park.
She's about a .930 server in terms of percentage.
Brent again. Try Gilk this time. The lefty has that dug up. Brent bumps to Reeder, and it's going to be a free ball opportunity for Champlin Park. Trying to set it up front. That's dug by Tanner. Gibson runs it down, and again, Reeder bumps it back over. Nice rally. Set Gilk. Oh my! And they can't get it over, as that almost took Maddie Gibson's face off from Carly Gilk.
That had some velo on it.
No question about it.
She lit that one up, got full extension, and that left-hand kill, holy cow. That had some smoke.
That might be in Madeline Kay, might be in Gibson's nightmares tonight.
Gilk with 227 kills. Just missed on that one.
Yeah, that one goes wide, and Anoka does the important thing there in killing that off.
So they've been battling back and forth. It's kind of when they hit that run, you look for the timeout from the coach, maybe to not allow that run to extend beyond 4 points. And here's Anoka on the serve.
Sadie Liram serving for the Tornadoes. Chance in front. Dug up, but they're not going to get this over. That one went a little deep. Good move there to get that over for Champlin Park, as that's Lily Reese putting it away. And here's Gilk, who will serve up.
Gilk with 34 aces on the season, serving at about an 840 clip.
Well, you jinxed her.
Irrelevant there.
You jinxed her there, Joe. You should apologize.
What was that last year? I think we had called the game.
Yeah, we have that ability, you and I do. We certainly do.
The hex.
Logan Brent serves it deep to the back line. Dug that time. Chance again. Dug up for Reese as Reese sent it over. Reeder sets for Brent. Brent just again sends it across for a free ball. Gilk has to do the same thing. Neither team really in sync at this moment. Chance right there, and Leaf is long. And they want a deflection. No deflection. And it's going to be a side out and a serve for Champlin Park. Sarah Moberg will take over. Take another look.
I will say she got up in a hurry. Good quickness. Whoa.
And I think that's probably the right call. Didn't look like that ball got altered,
Couldn't
Joe.
get that top hand or rotation.
Beautiful.
Oh my.
There's Hayden Reeder, the young freshman, able to work from all sides, Joe. I think that's been the thing that's been really impressive about her. She's not a one-trick pony at the net. You see an example of that right there.
Look at her. She got on top of that ball, too. Good top spin. Buried it. No way that ball was coming back.
6-all in set number one. Again at the net. Tanner sent it back, but dug up by Champlin Park. And they're going to get that one through.
Well, Agnes did a good job. Reese Agnes for the Rebels to continue the flow on that ball and dug it up. Continued play, and eventually the Rebels getting that point.
Yeah, I think Catherine Adler with the kill that time for the Rebels. Brent, Josie Brown just into the game, and that's a lift.
So you gotta like the flow right here for Anoka. Back and forth.
Yep.
Exchanging points. Not allowing them to hit a run. That is the Rebels.
And I think this Anoka crowd being in the game early, that's certainly what they're going to want. Here's a serve from Gibson, the libero. Adler blocked at the net. Josie Brown keeps it alive. Gibson sets Reeder at the 10-foot line. Dug up there, and it's Adler again at the net. Has to punch it over. Tanner keeps it. Brent, Josie Brown. Sent back.
Beautiful block.
Harley Hansen maybe right there, Joe?
Correct. She has a way of getting in that right location for those blocks. Very gifted and intuitiveness as well.
Jump serve coming. The serve right at Reeder on the back line. Tanner with a chance, doesn't get much on it. Adler goes with the softball, and it works.
Change of pace and found a gap and found a spacing there for the point. So critical time here. 9-7 lead for the Rebels. If they get this point, I'm kind of curious to see how long they wait before maybe they try to stymie that run.
Ooh, that might have gone long, but Reeder kept it as Axness will get away with that one. Ooh, a nice little bump that almost worked there, but they're going to give a chance for Gilk, who again changes, but a great dive by Josie Brown. Tanner to the back line, they keep it alive. Champlin running all over for it, but they're going to bump it over. Can we get a side out for the Tornadoes? Right here, Sadie Lirum. Can't get it the kill yet. Bumped back by the Rebels. Tanner with a little touch one. Doesn't quite work that time. That's blocked. Sadie Lirum and Josie Brown at the net. Big side out for the Tornadoes. Rebels and Tornadoes back and forth here in set number one.
Probably the longest point in the set, but I will say such more and very significant. And then instead of coming up with a 3-point deficit, now they're back to within one and the serve.
Shimmick will serve it again. Nice serve that time. Chance from Gilk as Gilk sends it across. Tanner, again, not a ton on that one. Going with the left hand, an early jump, got away with it. And that's rejected. Ball still being jockeyed for a bit. Free ball coming for the Rebels. They set Gilk, far side. That's good.
Boy, she elevated that time. A little farther back maybe than she wanted to, but she found the right spot, opposite corner. Get herself another kill.
They do a lot of that back setting for Gilk. Trying to keep the Tornadoes off balance, you can see. Lirum blocked, but can't get it back over. That was Adler.
And as you mentioned, hey, Tip, confidence, getting them more confidence in their play. This first game, this first match, set has to be giving them more confidence. That's battling back and forth, just a point differential.
Gilk rejected. Reeder keeps it alive. They bat it back over. Do the Tornadoes, but they're not able to kill it. So we're still playing on this point. Long rally. Reeder from the 10-foot line. Rejected, sent back, and it's going to be a point for the Rebels.
Well, the Rebels coming off a big win about 5 games ago. So they defeated Wayzata, a team they lost to who was number 1. There's a long serve. A team that was number 1 in the state for quite some time. They had lost to them earlier in the season, and Coach Yonker just had mentioned, oh, that is such a timely win for us as we start going to sections. Those two teams met in the section championship last year before Wayzata went on to win the state. So having that win here, he said this late in the game, it kind of gets our mindset in that right spot.
Both teams trade service errors, and so it's 12-10. Gilk on serve. Carly Gilk with the left, fires it. Logan Brent with the answer, and that's out. Just out on that line on the far side. Gives you an example, though, of the explosiveness of Logan Brent. Like, she doesn't get cheated. I was
looking at that bend. I mean, she had some power behind that. If I was Coach John over there, I would have probably jumped out of the way.
Duck and cover.
He's seen a lot of those balls. He just
that'll change your hat real quick.
But you're right. Good bend, good power.
Reeder, and that's long.
Just under it.
So a couple of unforced errors. The service error, there's a couple errors in a row now. Tornadoes starting to hand some points over to the Rebels. And Champlin Park, too good a team to be given those opportunities. Carly Gilk stays on serve. Into the net. You mentioned, we talked to Coach Yonker a little bit before the game, Joe, and he talked about how he front-loaded the schedule with a really tough non-conference. But then also maybe trying to gear up and finish even stronger, too, with one more tournament to play before sections.
Yes, and it's just a kind of a feel. You want to get the players through a tough part, and then focus on some of those development avenues before that section begins one last run. But I'd say they're not doing bad, number one in Class 4A currently right now, but he knows, hey, that could be temporary.
Reeder sent that one back. And that one's deflected, and that's going to be a point and a side out for Champlin Park. After the Tornadoes had kind of gotten back into that thing. Now I think it should be 15-13 or 15-12. We'll see what happens when they update this score. Maybe they won't. They have it at 14-13 still on the scoreboard. Maybe that's accurate. Now it's 141. We'll see if they fix that too. Yeah, we should have 15-13, and there it is finally. Now 16-13 as that point for the Rebels.
I always feel like this time of the match and the set feels like moving day in golf.
It really is. It's right now, and right now it's all Rebels. Sarah Moberg, and that's all Chris Fenwick needed to see. A timeout from Anoka. That's a nice little flurry from Champlin Park.
Yep, and I like that timeout. Some teams decide, hey, maybe we can go another point or two and figure it out. But stop it right now. They got the flow and some momentum going, so now's a great time to call that timeout and kind of make your adjustments.
Let's take a look. We can take a look at standings here real quick, Joe, as we start to look where these two teams are at. In the Northwest Suburban, Champlin Park obviously has been very good in conference play. Centennial 4-2, very good. Andover at 3-2, it's a little deceptive because it's obviously a very good conference, but Andover's a very good team. Avery Bowles might be one of the best players in the area. Maple Grove, obviously, same thing, a very good team. And this Anoka team, Ben, like I said, much improved.
It is.
Playing in Coon Rapids at the bottom.
And hey, they've put together 3 wins in a row, but the last loss has come to Maple Grove.
Right.
Yeah, so easily 5 matches and getting themselves set for postseason as well. I'm sure they would like to avenge a loss last year to Andover in the section quarterfinals.
An interesting thing, too, that we've seen so far, Joe, is one thing Chris Fenwick's done all year is move players in and out and rotate. Haven't seen a lot of that in this first game, really sticking with the folks he put on the floor. So they stay on serve. Moberg firing at Reeder, who's played the whole game playing on the back line, which is not something you normally see. Works out for Anoka there. They can't take Reeder off the floor right now is what they've decided.
They cannot. Look at good piece, and again, elevated well.
So we stay 17. Now they stay 17-13, so maybe that score was a little off there for a bit. So they have it at 17-13, which I think might be accurate. Brent trying to stay with it. Reeder bumps it over. Oh, nice little soft move, but Anoka's able to keep it. Can they run it down? Gibson does bump it back over. Near side. Dug again as Hansen can't put it away. Tanner. Moberg there for the dig. Moberg sends it back. Brent now will wait. Brent sets. Gibson with a bump. Tanner once again to the back line at Moberg. They go Hansen on the near side, puts it away.
Split right between them. Added with some great top spin. And the Rebels back up by 5 and get the service, as you can see here, the skill shot.
Now we start to see some subs here as we get Lily Holoween on the serve. Up front for Josie Brown, and Brown can elevate.
Unable to dig it up that time were the Rebels.
Very critical set right here, a service game for Anoka, am I right, Joe? I mean, you're 18-14, need to get a few here, right?
You need a mini run at least.
Gibson to the back line. Ooh, that was handled difficult right there, but they keep it alive. Oh, and that's sent deep and out.
Oh.
Man, some heat coming there from Lily Reese.
That had some serious juice on it. That thing just exploded off the hand of the Rebel front row. Just chance now again, 19-14 you mentioned. That was a big service for Anoka.
So they need a quick kill here, do the Tornadoes, and they get it.
Okay, they get another chance right now.
Josie Brown able to keep that to a 1 point. So Shimmick will come in for Brown right here. It's 19-15. Shimmick's back in on serve for the Tornadoes.
And again, they get to make another run here if they can. Even 2-3 points is a difference.
Makes a big difference indeed. They keep it alive. Can they bump it over? They can.
Nice, nice.
Gilk And that's why she's so good. She kind of ends rallies quickly, doesn't she?
Boy, I'll tell you, she kicks that chair out from underneath you just when you feel like you're getting comfortable. She gets it over and then just buries it. So a 5-point lead now for the Rebels. And on the serve.
She's just like the mean relative at the holiday gatherings.
Oh, yes.
Gilk again, doing more of the mean stuff.
Right. And she comes at different speeds as well.
Yeah, you can see that one wasn't a full blast, and Chris Fenwick will take another timeout at 21:15. But you're right, Joe. She'll go hard with a couple, but then she'll back off and do a little something soft, a little change of pace. She's kind of got all the shots around the net.
Yeah, and most of those tools as well, and just a sophomore.
Yeah. Boy, there's some really good young talent in this conference when it comes to volleyball, right? When you look at Reeder, you look at Gilk. There's just some real talent here. Leaf is a junior. Yep. There's some really good players all over this conference.
Yeah, you got Adler as well, a sophomore.
Adler, yeah, jeez Louise.
And it's a regular factory. It reminded me when the Rebels won that state championship. It reminded me of the Herb Brooks 1980. It was like these young women were built to play volleyball. Just how well they played, and how many went to Wisconsin.
I thought you were comparing the victory at the state tournament to the Miracle on Ice, and I was going to say, Joe, I love you and all, but that's a preposterous
That's a
thing.
reach, man.
That's a bit of a reach.
But you could see how well. I learned so much that you're watching that team and their communication.
They were so good. I mean, a team without a weakness, really.
The Hillies.
Back, Doug, Logan Brent stayed with it. Can they get anything done at the net? Liram had that batted back. Brent again. Oh, wow, great job by the Rebels to stay with it, but they can't get it over. Unbelievable effort back there from Marley Hansen, and I thought she was going to keep that one alive for the Rebels.
One more rotation, just like in a putt sometimes. There's one rotation. That was one more rotation for getting you over the net.
I don't even scare the hole, so I don't know what that's talking about. I haven't seen it in months.
Oh.
And another one for Gilk. That time she goes up the far side line right there, and it worked out perfectly.
Boy, she reached back and hammered that one home. Probability win now rate for Champlin Park at about 90%.
Yeah, when you're only 3 points away from the set, you're forcing the other team to chase you down. You need a quick kill and a long service rally. That's sent back, but that's going to go out of bounds and a point for the Tornadoes. 22-17. It's been a fun first set. Enjoyed it. So now they're going to go to a serve with one of the seniors. Here's Arthurline Quokwe, who they bring her in as sort of this backline specialist late in games if they can feel like they can make a service run. Kind of a drop ball on serve. Rejected that time by Leaf.
I was going to say a heavy ball on that serve. Big top spin, tough to recover it.
Kind of drops off the table once it gets over the net. Like the old drop ball in fast pitch softball. There's one again, low liner to the back line. Dug by Tanner. They set Reeder, far side. Hayden Reeder deflected. No, it's kept alive. They go to in front, and that one is deflected, and a kill for Champlin Park. Well done at the front of the net that time, as it was Lily Reese, it looked like again.
That it is, and now a chance here for Carly Gilk, 2 points away from serving out this first set.
Up for grabs, can they get it? Shimmick and now Reeder forced to just bump it over. Haven't been able to really set for her as much. Kept alive, who's got it? Shimmick again, Reeder from the 10-foot line. That's just out on the back line, and now set point for the Rebels.
Well, let's see if they change anything on the return, or she brings a little extra gusto.
Into the net goes Gilk, her second time.
So I will not be saying anything more.
Yeah, you need to just not talk about the service games. Yeah, just let it breathe, Joe, right?
That's it, just let it go.
Logan
Stay
Brent.
in your lane.
Logan Brent, they still got to kill off 5 set points here. They get one right there.
Okay.
Well, it starts with 1. You can't get all 5 until you get the first one. They get that one 24-20.
To build a little energy also for this second set.
For the Tornadoes, you got to feel like you can hang, right? Oh, it's a beautiful one right there. And that will give the Rebels the opening set 25-20. We're going to get Joe's expert analysis, and we will set for the second set in just a moment on QCTV.
Where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
You told me not to talk to strangers. You told me not to cross the street without looking both ways.
You told me not to touch the stove.
You told me not to do drugs.
You told me not to drink and drive.
You gave me so many messages about how to stay safe. Why didn't you keep me safe by properly storing your gun?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
All right, getting ready for set number 2 here at the Anoka Fieldhouse. Tim Anderson, Joe Ruland here with you on QCTV and QCTV.org. It is costume night, and some of us have done that, as we can see. There's a party. Joe, set number 1. It was an interesting one. Champlin Park able to survive and make a nice run late. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it was. It was an exchange of points, very close. Once they got Champlin Park to that 16-12 margin, they kind of took advantage and just went to their home cooking approach. And really, of those last 6 of those last points were on kills.
We start set 2, and it just feels like they're getting a lot of those balls right there, digging them right out of the dirt, and they're able to turn that into a point.
Yeah, and you know, you just watch, and it's kind of an expectation, right? There's no ball that's going to drop. We're going to dig what we can, and you set that expectation, and each player has that as well.
Every point's a fight right now, no question about it. Logan Brent, far side, yes. I'm telling you, they've got big athletes, taller players than Logan Brent, but I don't know if they got anybody as explosive as him.
Enjoy watching, especially those types of athletes. Centennial, similar player at 5'8", but second on a team in kills. Just how they can lift and explode.
And that's going to go long. That's deflected in a point for Champlin Park as they're able to quickly kill that off. And it's 2-1. And that'll put Marley Hansen, the senior, on serve.
Watching the bench also for Champlin Park get up and just cheer each other on. is just lifts that energy. I know there's a point going back for the Rebels. Coach Junker said that's the thing I think we learned in that loss against Marshall. That team had so much energy, and the players on the bench had just as much energy. It just lifted that team. And you know, the girls came back and said that's what we need to do more of.
Yeah, I think Coach Younger talked about that on a few things, like playing that tough schedule early. As I can see this one going for it. Can they keep it alive? They can.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic effort from the Tornadoes. And sent back, but it's still going to be a point for Champlin Park. A hard-fought one, and that excited at least that Tornadoes bench. If you're going to lose a point, lose one like that.
Oh, tenacious. And you mentioned Shimmick again. Comes up big. She's all over the place in that athleticism. Comes into play. Unfortunately, the Rebels close up that point.
And they haven't been able to get Reeder right up by the net. Feels like she's had to catch a lot of them at the 10-foot line. And you can see when she's back there, it's a lot easier to defend. And the Rebels are having no trouble with that right now, up 5-1 here in set 2.
Yeah, you can see it because the Rebels up front have done a lot of, not necessarily always kills, but dropping them into gaps, and she's trying to cover those as well.
Hansen plays that right to Reeder on the line. Hansen tries to soft one over, but that one stopped. And you can see maybe a touch frustrated right now, and they will sub Reeder out for Samara Love, one of the seniors, who's kind of a spark plug player on this Anoka team. Staying on serve is Hansen. Hansen will go right at Love. They go to Brent on the near side, send it over, can't quite kill it. Gilk, far side, dug up that time by Shimmick, and sent back over. Gilk again, that time Gibson gets to it. And Brent will bump it back over. They're going to set one more time for Gilk. Yes, and this time a soft toss. They keep it. Shimmick able to keep it alive, and now bumped back over by Tanner. Will they go again to Gilk? No, they won't. They go to Adler instead. It's still alive. Samara Love will send it back over. Who's got it this time? It's Adler.
Boy, is that the ultimate example of being on the offense for that whole point. Kudos for the Tornadoes and keeping that ball alive and extending that point, but they were chasing the whole point, and finally.
Yeah, weren't able to ever get a clean look, right? A clean opportunity. Trouble there for Love, but keeps it alive. Now Love's got to hit it back over and not going to be able to do it.
I kind of love that serve from Marley Hansen.
Yeah, Hansen's on a flurry.
She has some loft on it, and good timeout, much needed. Down now by 7. An 8-1 lead for the Rebels. And the Tornadoes try to regroup and maybe find a strategy that can get them moving ahead.
Let's take a look at rankings right here. And
by the way,
4AA. Yeah, Champlin Park on top of the 4AA rankings. Lakeville North, Wayzata. You also see Eastridge there, Northfield, Lakeville South. Kind of the usual suspects in a lot of ways, Joe.
It is, and the top 5 teams in that state, Champlin Park has played. I find it ironic. I didn't see Rogers as one that they had played. Teams so close, and St. Michael, Albertville, the teams that are 9 and 10 and so close in proximity. They have not played, but they've taken on Wayzata a couple of times this season. As we mentioned, they were, for the most part, the #1 team in Class 4A for the majority.
Chaska at a tournament this weekend, it sounds like,
you
right?
would think,
so
right?
They're gonna. Brent, can they kill it off? Not yet. Bumped back over. Gilk, far side, got it. Question here, Joe, is when you're a young team like Anoka and you're kind of learning how to win, it's tough to get down in these games, right? It's tough that when you play hard in the first set and you have that momentum and you still come up short, it's kind of hard to refire the engine in set 2, and that's what it feels like right now for Anoka.
It is, but you got to take any little thing as a win, a possible look at, hey, it's temporary. And there's the start. Let's see if Shimmick can ignite them here.
Yeah, Brent is able to put that one finally away. And they still haven't been able to really get Reeder going, centering her on the far side. I know they've been trying to. You wonder if they'll get something going here with Abby Leaf playing up front with Reeder and Brent. Serving with Sadie Leram.
Some fresh legs for
There's
Reeder.
A block up front, kept alive, but no. That's going to be a lift right there on Logan Brent, as Leaf and Brent were both battling to keep that one alive, and now it'll go Hunter out. Arthurline Quokwe back in. We'll Let's see if they serve right at her on the back line. They don't. They go at Tanner instead. They're going to go for Leaf in the middle, and she can't handle it. Jump too early, and that's where we talk just a touch, just a kind of a touch off right now for this Tornado team. Not a clean set.
Almost looked like she was trying to do too much. She was looking down the court and the floor to try to find a location and lost that thing side of her hand. Serving at Quokwe here, down 11-2 are the Tornadoes. Back line, that's going to be in just on the back line. 11-3 and a much needed kill for the Tornadoes. They did. Let's see what they can do to put a string together here. Some service points.
Might be the most impressive thing about Champlin Park is they really don't allow long service rallies. It feels like they've always been able to kill it very quickly. Back at them, but that's rejected out of bounds. And there you go, another quick kill from the Rebels. This is what they do.
I was looking to see if that hit the hair of Gilk before it went out.
Yeah.
You know, of course I wouldn't have that problem, but after that kill.
Yeah, you're in good shape for that.
She's a regular hair farmer. I am not.
Here's Maddie Frecking just checking into the game. Another one of those young, talented players that this Anoka varsity squad's got. Oh, and they can't get it over. And once again, Reeder didn't know where to go with it. No communication. This Tornado team just needs to take a breath here. 13-3.
Frecking I enjoyed watching for basketball and softball.
Absolutely. A real talent.
Good freshman last year.
Speaking of, there's Frecking trying to hit it over and does. 13-3, a chance for more here for the Rebels as they have been on their game. Trying for a quick one there. Frecking at least coming in, trying to throw a little change of pace at it. They set, it's Frecking again, far side, and that's going to go into the bench of Champlin Park and out. 14-3. It feels like a lot of mistimed jumps, kind of mistimed opportunities for this for this Tornado team in set two. Very well played by Champlin Park.
Yep, and Rebels may have gotten away with the double hit at that front, but nonetheless, Tornadoes try to turn it here. They do. Nice, great location, good poise. The thing that always impresses me when you're watching them loft and elevate, climb the ladder, is the control of their body on how to hold back, and I swear sometimes it's Jordan-like as they suspend their time in the air.
Love going with the Ephus serve right there to stay with that, and that's set back. Trying to ignite this Tornado team. Tanner trying to bring some energy along with Leaf on the front line. Down 14-5. Love will stay on serve for the Tornadoes. Serve to the back line. Looks like Moberg put it right at Logan Brent.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Coach Yonker also had some great things to say about Moberg before the game, and about how during the end of the early summer as it started, he had recommended maybe we look at a different position because they had some others coming that maybe thought they could optimize some of her strengths, and he goes, you know what, she worked at it, and sometimes you can see a player maybe pout a bit. She did not. She accepted it, and she has really, I had asked him, is there a player that you've seen that's really elevated? And he called out her as one of those. He called out a few others, but the fact that her mindset was ready for the team, yeah, let's do it. And she's been playing fantastic. Timeout. Once again, 17-5 now lead as the Rebels have escalated it. And you kind of want to see Anoka get that confidence back. Just find a way to say, hey, you know what? That point, temporary, let's gear back and get our footwork or whatever it takes.
Get back to what they do, right? Because you just feel like in this set, it's been a couple of things, Joe. I think, they haven't been able to really set anything. But also, it feels like when they get to the net, they don't want to attack. They're trying to find little soft spots. And I don't know if that's because they're afraid of the height or the athletic nature of the front line of Champlin Park. But it feels like they've kind of gotten out of their game.
Yeah, maybe overthinking before they just pulled the string on a kill shot. Or as they're rising up, they're thinking maybe I should just tip it over. Where are they? Type of things. And boy, I'll say one thing. I would not want to be on that back line trying to dig out those Rebels kill shots. I need hockey equipment if I'm going to be back there.
No question
about it.
That
part can be, but I think, hey, just try to take 1 point at a time and
try to
reset.
get some momentum for set three.
You got to hit Control-Alt-Delete after every bad point.
Nice shot of some of the guys in costume tonight going as that looked like broskies right there heading out. That was nice. Good costume. We'll take that. Tanner trying to get that. And again, another little soft one, just trying to put that away. They go to the far side, rejected by Leaf.
Love it, love it. I love watching that bench explode with excitement, some good energy, celebrating a good point after that timeout.
And now Gibson will serve the libero. Gibson kind of jumped into that libero role early in the season, and that's where she's stayed this year. Been very good. That one's, again, nobody home on the back line. Gilk able to put that one away. 18-6. This Rebel team looks really solid here in set number 2. It was like they took everything Anoka had in set 1, and here they are, Joe, just saying, you know what, all right, we think we took your best punch. Now we're going to start throwing.
And, you know, anyone they bring off the bench just seems equal, not better than the other.
Tanner digs.
Good depth.
Oh, nope. Yep, over the line that time. They call that a quick point. So we got 19-6. Staying on the service game. It's Champlin Park and Halloween. They set on the front side for Hansen. Hansen, that's dug up. Tanner able to dig that frecking far side. Nope.
See, but I like that fire. She had some emotion. She was frustrated after she is such a good athlete. I'm really looking forward to watching her in basketball this year and watching her field in softball along with the hitting. Very impressive athlete.
Sure, yeah. Coach Nick Novak is watching and just saying, don't get hurt, whatever you do. That's going to be a miss and a rare unforced error from Champlin Park here in set 2. It's been a very clean set for the Rebels. Not a lot of mistakes. There was a rare one right there, and it allows some subs to come in as Carmen Shimmick back in. Josie Brown's going to check in for Tanner here. And it's 20-7 in favor of the Rebels in set 2. They already lead 1-0.
You know, there's certain players as a coach that you find are kind of a nucleus of that team. Shimmick, it's just one of those as she tried to get in front of that kill. But I'll tell you, she has a way of just getting into the mix, being in the right spot, right time. That time it was just an overpowering kill.
Yeah, you do feel like if you need a big dig or a big kill, big set, big serve, that's where kind of Carmen Shimmick comes in and sets for those frontline players quite well. There's another example of that, a set for Josie Brown, but Brown has that dug up. They want to go far side for Gilk. And it's out, just out on the line as they try to attack Gilk at the net. Ends up missing 22-7.
Close play there. And those are the good plays that just missed, but you want to capture those mentally. As Anoka tries to get themselves out of a hole here in the second set, they start right there.
Yeah, Logan Brent able to knock that one out off the serve from Reese Axness. 22-8. They dropped the first set 25-20 did the Tornadoes, and now they trail 22-8 here in set 2. Rebels kind of sensing things are right where they want them in this whole match and want to put this one away quickly. That's kept alive. Rebels do such a good job of that. Every time you think they're in trouble, they don't panic, and they just keep balls alive. Hansen. That was deflected at the net. Brown stays with it. Now they set Reeder once again. Not able to get a clean set at the 10-foot line, and Josie Brown can't keep it.
Well, you can tell the freshman Reeder may be getting a bit tired.
And maybe
she didn't get the lift.
Maybe a bit frustrated too, right? That she's not able to get it where she wants it, where she can really be a factor.
Right, so far away, and that time it was almost back in her stance when she wanted to get some extra velo on it.
Shimmick the set. There's one for Reeder as she lunges at that one. Not able to do a ton with it. They want to go for Brent, and that's long right at Coach Junker.
He just stays poised. That hat does not move.
Didn't move at all. Nothing, man. That is custom fit to that head. That's not going anywhere.
Set point. Rebels.
Reeder. Deflected as Gilk has met her at the net pretty much the whole time. Gilk puts it away. Carly Gilk, a fantastic second set, showing why she is one of the team leaders in kills. Great example of that right there. A great second set from Champlin Park. We'll see if they can close it out after this on QCTV.
Being prepared is a part of who you are. But it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
All right, back at it here on QCTV. Good to have you with us on kind of a chilly Thursday night. Rebels have taken the first two sets, second set rather easily. Tim Anderson, Joe Rulin back here with you. And Joe, Tornadoes need a little momentum. As you can see, the battle for the paddles coming up, and some folks letting us know about that.
Oh, God, you are right. Forgot about that. But, hey, I love the energy Anoka came out with to start this third set. They came out upbeat. No one yelling at one another or whatever, but first point goes the way of the Rebels.
That would be Hansen now who will take over on serve. So you got some fans in the stands getting ready to celebrate that battle for the paddle game coming up in just a week. Take place next Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock as the regular season winds down. Logan Brent gets the big kill there. If you can already believe that. Fall season wrapped up for boys soccer here at Anoka this week. Volleyball sections start next week. Things are winding down.
It is, and I see the Andover boys defeated Centennial 4-1 in the section semifinals tonight.
Chance there to send it back, and they do in a point for Champlin Park, and they take the quick 2-1 lead here in set number 3.
Looked like the girls were losing. Andover girls down 1-0 early in that match at the Andover High School. It is wrapping up very fast.
Seems like a very fast season.
Does.
Long on the serve that time from Caitlin Erickson. Gibson comes out.
Of course, you always like to extend that fall season because it extends the golf season.
Really does. You don't, I mean, as much as it's time to think about some hoops and some hockey. Right back there at the net, they put it away.
That was Leaf, who looked like she was just peeling a leaf off the tree as she elevated, got it, and just dropped it straight down.
That was sort of a Champlin Park even acknowledged, oops, didn't mean to on that one. Didn't want to eat one. That was some self-preservation from the Rebels front line. Gilk.
Coming right back.
And that's what they do, Joe, right? The quick kill, not allowing a long service game.
Not at all. You know what? And they're very purposeful with each one of their plays. You can see with the locations of serves, the sets, everything's so meticulous.
Wanted to serve it Quoque, Leaf, back line. They keep it alive, dig it out. Moberg for the point. Yep, got it.
It's funny, I was watching that back line for the Rebels, and Hansen that time kind of picked up on maybe some tendencies and took like 2-3 steps over to the right, and she just got enough to dig it, and then the Rebels put it away.
Carly Gilk remains on serve. Nobody home, and they got to get that over. They can't. And again, that's Leaf and Reeder not deciding who's going to take it.
Rebels have picked up wins in 9 of their last 10 matches. 4-match win streak, and of course Anoka has a 3-match win streak coming into tonight.
And they'll put that one away as well. Rebels looking to be kind of sensing it right now. You can get that vibe that they want to put this thing away. They don't want to play a 4th set. So you can see some of the costumes. There's a hot dog here at the game. How about that?
I haven't had supper yet,
yeah,
so that will be great.
That would be fantastic. I feel like nobody serves a hot dog at a concession stand right now around the high school area. It's so ridiculous. It's pizza, popcorn, and that's it.
Drop
Chance again for
long.
Moberg. That one goes long.
You got it. So let's see who could be a spark here for the Tornadoes in this 3rd set.
Third set. Now that those Anoka fans are standing again, we got to start standing again as well, and we will. Here's Logan Brent. Again, always well spaced. Moberg can't do a lot with it. Brown will have to bump it back over. Going for Moberg again, and that's long.
Yep, just not able, just getting a little too much underneath it. As you mentioned, the Rebels, after tonight's game, they will go into a tournament in Chaska. Meanwhile, ends the season for Anoka, and for many teams as well, as they begin to set their sections. I think it's pretty well decided in Section 5 who's going to be 1, who's going to be 2. Unless Wayzata, I'm not sure if Wayzata is in that tourney at all with Chaska, but nonetheless, I think the last regular season match in which Champlin Park took a 3-1 win home kind of decided they'll be the number 1 seed.
That one they fired right at Quoque, and she's not able to handle that. 7-6 after really one of the longer extended service games for the Tornadoes in any of this match. So they were able to get a couple points and square it at 6 before finally that kill. Jump serve from Moberg, taps the net, stays alive. Here's Brown, far side. Josie long. 8-6.
Haven't seen much of the jump serve tonight, but Moberg, a senior heading to Northern University.
There's not a lot of jump servers on the Tornadoes, and maybe a few only on the Rebels. Chance there to try to kill it, not able to. Hansen punched backwards. Can they stay with it? They can. Bumped over by Leaf. Moberg waits for it. Setting again for Hansen, and that's long. Fired that right into the bench of the Tornadoes, and they're able to get the kill. It's 8-7 in favor of the Rebels here in set number 3.
I think she wanted to go a little deeper into that corner, just mishit it a bit. And had a good set, a good fence set up, and a good block that really kind of forced her to a different angle.
Love back on the floor, takes over on serve, and that's a great one right there. Hansen.
That time she gets another chance at it.
Caught Quoque a little flat-footed there, not able to recover. And a quick service game for Love. She comes in to serve and is quickly subbed out. And they're going to go to number 19. I believe that is Kendall Finnis here. First time calling her in this game. Brown, got it. You know, Josie doesn't necessarily have the biggest vertical, but she has got a lot of life on her ball when she hits it.
You know, you're right. I was just going to say the same thing. A big spark and some power. Very nice. Okay, let's see what they can do to knot this up and then maybe take the lead for Anoka.
Nice ace from Madeline Gibson.
Love that knuckler.
That'll work.
I'm not sure that ball had a full rotation on it. It was moving so much. Well played.
Kind of like a Tim Wakefield chart. Oh, but then there you go, right back into the net with it. So they get one to tie it, but then quickly surrender it right back. It's 10-9. And on serve will be Axness, sophomore. And we talked about all that young talent. A lot of young talent here, too. Oh, Gibson trying to communicate with Finnis that time. Sent over by Tanner. Hansen can't do much with it, but puts it in the right spot. Little strategery from the Rebels that time.
Yeah, she kept the eyes on that court. Found the gap again.
11-9. Able to handle the serve. Brown to the back line, dug up by Erickson. Gilk with the left. In. Oh no, they called it out. It looked good. Looked really good, but just out. Just out.
A beautiful set by Moberg, all the way from the back line, and set the table for Gilk. And boy, I thought that caught the line.
It was very, very close. They call it out. It's 10-11. And certainly if you're Anoka, you're not complaining. Shimmick serves hard at Erickson. Gilk winds up, and that one's good.
Rotator around, gets that near side ball off to the far corner. She did not miss that one.
Certainly not. And we talk about quick service games for the Tornadoes. There's another example of that right there. Shimmick up front. They set Liram with a chance there. Liram not able to put it away. Shimmick will try this again. It's Brent, and again at the attack line, can't do much with that one as it wasn't a great set. And Brent has it sent back 13-10.
Yeah, that set kind of came right into her body, so she couldn't even take an attempt to elevate.
Hansen serves. Low bullet. And that's Tanner gonna put it across. Big one for Allie Tanner.
Okay. I always like the point system for volleyball. You're never really out of it. You know, you can, hey, look at right now. You get a serve, you're back within one.
Yeah, a couple of good service games, and you can maybe make a run here, and that's kind of the game, right? Gilk.
And then you have Gilk.
Well, when they went to this route, when they went to rally scoring, I don't know how many years ago, was that 17 years ago? I have no idea. I just think that really changed the way you viewed the game. Became much more entertaining and action-packed rather than the traditional game. Which Joe grew up with, was the traditional game where you could only score on the serve.
Absolutely.
Chance right there. Nope, they got to call I believe a lift, or nope, 2 hits, double hit right there on Champlin Park. Big point for the Tornadoes. Quoque back in for Liram. Also Leaf in up front at 14-12. And here's the senior Arthur Line Quoque who will serve.
See if she can bring him back. Chance to bring him within one.
That one blocked at the line, and Tanner can't get to it. And another very quick kill from Champlin Park, and this is just what they do. They're very content to trade with you because they know all they need is one service game maybe to put you away.
Also, they can just wear you down on that type of formula as well.
Sent back. Moberg.
Chance here on the Rebels. They have the old Got Milk campaign. Now it's Got Gilk.
Yeah.
And she's adding her serve.
Serving it right at Logan Brent.
I was so happy that serve went over.
And there you go. Yeah, you were thinking of the jinx.
I just couldn't shut up. I should have.
And there's Reeder who gets, finally they really were able to get Reeder set in a spot where she could do something. And that time it's 16-13, get a big kill. Here's Logan Brent on serve.
You always feel like you're chasing when you're playing against the Rebels.
Gilk into the net that time as she caught that a little too far back, and I think she's just like a lot of players. They're a lot better the closer they get to the net. They're more than content, I think, are the Tornadoes to let Gilk catch balls beyond the 10-foot line.
Oh, yeah.
That's an ace. 16-15. Tornadoes trying to make a surge.
Jump up that lead, get a point ahead, that whole mindset changes, and let's see what they can do right now.
Brent for the equalizer. Serves to the back line at Moberg. Going at Reese. Reese has that block back by Abby Leaf. And we're tied at 16.
That ball walked the line for a bit on the top of that net, came down the sides of the Rebels, and now a chance for the lead.
Brent on one of the longer service games of the match for the Tornadoes. Blocked. Trouble. Great effort from Erickson, but can't keep it alive. And the Tornadoes have the lead late in set 3 at 17-16. Brent to keep it going. Good serve in the back. Hansen can't handle it. It's 18-16. The Tornadoes with a lead.
On a run, no timeout for the Rebels. They're going to keep at it, and a good chance here for Anoka to extend this lead.
Brent serves at Moberg. Reese can't kill it off. Quoque sets Reeder. Reeder can't do much with it. It somehow got over by a fingernail, and that's sent back and killed by Moberg. Big kill from Champlin Park. And they go again right to the senior Sarah Moberg to get it done.
Moberg huge on the serve this season.
And you get just a deep breath every time you say something. And there they can't get it back over as Reeder's rejected at the net.
I thought Anoka had that well blocked, well schemed. Almost too well that time.
18 apiece. Champlin Park looking to take the lead right back. Good serve dug by Quoque. Leaf, long. 19-18. Timeout for Chris Fenwick and Anoka.
Well, they enjoyed that lead for a bit of a time, a chance to extend it to 3. But Anoka coming out strong here in this third set, will not go down and go down to defeat that easily.
Yeah, you felt like that second set, they just kind of, I don't know if they were flat-footed or they were just kind of caught off guard after putting so much into set 1. But this set 3 looks a lot closer to what we saw in set 1 versus, you know, kind of that kind of lethargic set 2 that we saw. A very good set from Anoka here.
Yep, and you see it too. We talked about it earlier in this match, just about those southpaws that are on the floor for the Rebels. And, you know, Coach John Yonker was talking about how to get them into position and in the right spot, because sometimes it's difficult with lefties. You're trying to position that ball off. Everyone kind of favors that right side, even your teammates, but you can see the pop that Giltgigs, that left-handed shot as well. And there it is.
There's the youngster, and that's one of the football assistant coaches, Trey Delamarter's youngster, running all over the floor, giving Trey a hard time. Trey will love the fact that he got on TV for that. Oh, tough serve. Somehow they kept it alive. That's great hustle by Brent to stay with it. Hansen blocked, but still put away. Marley Hansen with a big point there.
Moberg serving at about a 930% clip this season, has now put together 4 service points in a row for the Rebels.
Josie Brown, not much she can do. Josie's got to bump it over. Good chance for point here. Hansen, yep. Right on the back line, and Marley Hansen's kind of taken over up front here for the Rebels.
You know, it's amazing to watch because she has, that time she was leaning forwards, and I thought maybe that thing's going to go long, but she just got on top of that ball enough to get the top spin and bury it. And we've seen 2 other points this set on kill shots that have come just inside the 10-foot line.
Wow, what a left-handed move by Leaf, and somehow they got that over, and somehow it was sent back, but now Reeder puts it away. 21-19 on a had-to-have it.
Yeah, it really was. Getting to that 22 mark increases that probability by an immense amount. And right now, chance to cut the deficit in half and back to just a 1-point deficit. Anoka.
One of my favorite players on the team this year, Samara Love, tough serve. But if you get a chance to talk to Samara for 5 minutes, you become a pretty big fan. She's got a great personality.
Nice.
Energetic. She's kind of a spark plug teammate. Kinds you want on a team.
Or in the classroom.
Absolutely. Haven't had her in the class, though. That's just our hallway conversation. She critiques our broadcasts.
Nice. Excellent.
Has many notes. Has many notes at the end. There's a good one from Tanner.
All right, they're back to within 2.
So I'll be sure to send Samara an email for you so you can.
Yes, please.
So the notes can come to you.
Yes, directly come right to me.
Yep.
Always up for some feedback.
Absolutely.
I get enough of that from the producers.
No question about it. Madeline Gibson on to serve. Maddie sends it to the back line. There's Hansen again. Oh, that's dug up nicely that time by Finnis. Tanner deflected but kept alive by the Rebels. Hansen going for the softball, can't quite put it away. Instead go to Madison, or take it back, Sadie Lirum. Lirum tried to get it on a runner. Gibson digs that one out. Can anybody get a point? They're still battling for it. Brent battles for it and finally sent down by Hansen.
Hansen definitely a major contributor to this particular set. That's her 5th point.
23-20, 2 away from the match. Axness on the jump serve. Shimmick. Tanner has to bump it over. It seemed like there was, again, a little miscommunication by the Tornadoes. Hansen again, and that one's long. Bit of a heat check from Marley Hansen.
Yep, she reached back. Thought she could put it down the line, but not quite the top spin on it.
Critical point here for Carmen Shimmick. They got to get 1 or 2. Try to stave off match point. Sent back Adler. Tanner sends it across. Gilk, far side. That's punched up. They're gonna have to just send it over with Brent. See if they set Gilk again. They do. That's dug up. Brent again bumps it back over. Will they set Gilk again? Nope, this time it's Adler. Dug up by Shimmick. Who can send it over? It's Lirum.
Boy, the fans are getting revved.
Send back Hansen. And we are at match point, but that was a fun point indeed.
Oh my, they took their best shots. Got back up and, hey, steadied themselves, and they're gonna take a timeout here on this last point. What an effort, and you could feel the fans getting into it. It was an increase of enthusiasm and excitement with each dig.
And that was fun from the team too. One thing you noticed right there where they called that timeout, Chris Fenwick's got a smile on his face, and so does the bench. Those seniors like Arthur Line Quokwe, one of the leaders of this team, smiling, laughing, having fun. This is not a deflated team, and you wouldn't know that they're facing match point in a 3-set game right now with the way that they have carried themselves.
Hey, you know, there's a old saying, you never know what's gonna trigger momentum. Hey, some of these last points, you could see them bonding together as a team. They're fearless.
Well, you hope that you walk out of a game like this, Joe, going, well, look, 2 out of the 3 games, we were right there. It's not like we got blown out of these things.
And hey,
we need to make a couple of plays. We're right there.
You're not going to see a Champlin Park in your section playoff.
Right.
Or Wayzata. So you build from that, and you can see a little tip of confidence, and it blends into more.
Match point for the Rebels. Brent, far side. Can't quite get rid of it. Gilk for the win. Nope, dug up. Kept alive, Shimmick. Sets Tanner. That one's kept alive by Champlin Park. Lirum with the set. Shimmick. They go again at Logan Brent. Can't quite put it away yet. Back line into the net, and we keep playing. Hansen trying to put it away from the back line.
You can tell she feels she's got that hot hand. She wanted to get the close, but now a chance for the Tornadoes to climb back in.
They're going to, oh, nope, they're not going to let Reeder in. They got to serve right now. Not going to let that sub happen. And that's long. Now they're going to try to get Hayden Reeder in on a sub. And they will for Finnis. So Finnis out, Reeder in. It's 24-23. A point here extends this match. And it's Allie Tanner on serve. Right at Hansen they go. Moberg to put it away. Dug up. Sent back by Lirum. Will they set for Adler? Yes, they do. It's dug by Gibson. Reeder for the tie. Can't get it yet. They go with a back set to Gilk for the win. Got it.
Got Gilk. I'll tell you, they wound it, reversed it, but what a last point. I'll tell you, it was just amazing to watch the energy from Anoka. You want to see him take that to the playoffs.
A lot of fun in that. First and third sets were about as fun as they get. Second set was a tough one for the Tornadoes. They'd probably like to forget about it. But set 1 and set 3 were a lot of fun. This one was tight, 25-23 here in set 3 to go along with a 25-20 opening set. Some great energy in the building tonight. But in the end, Joe, this Champlin Park team is really good for a reason. They're number 1 for a reason. They're deep. They've got players who can do it all.
Yeah, it's just not the first layer of layers. It's a true depth up and down that roster. And the competition they've played throughout the season, you can see it in this Class 4A. Currently number 1 team in Class 4A, and it came to fruition tonight.
Take a look at the broadcast schedule here on QCTV and what's coming up for you. Football, obviously, tomorrow night at Andover as the Magic come to town to take on the Huskies. And then more football next week. Cambridge Isanti at Andover, and then the battle for the paddle, an afternoon game. 1 o'clock is the set time for that one, as the Tornadoes will be looking in a season that's been tough to try to steal that trophy and keep the paddle for another year before we get into football section playoffs.
You've got it. Should be some great gridiron ball.
And then we're not far away from winter sports, and we're very excited for that. Want to say thanks to all of our guys that do all the work here at QCTV. Joe and I just show up and we talk and make fools out of ourselves, but the folks in the truck and the folks running the cameras do all the work here, and we want to say thank you to all of those great folks here at QCTV for doing all the things that we get to do around here. Thanks again to my guy, Mr. Joe Rulin. Joe, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you again. And on behalf of everybody else at QCTV, I'm Tim Anderson saying keep your head up, and we're going to see you next time.